afternoon, everyone. My name is Chinh. Welcome to another news report. So in today's news report, we are talking about a Japanese high school student who was abducted, raped, tortured, and murdered in the late 1980s. Her murder case was called the Concrete-Encased high school girl murder case, or the 44 Days of Hell. So what made her case called the 44 Days of Hell? Therefore, let me begin my news report. Junko Futura was born on 18 January 1971 in Misato, Japan. She attended high school in Misato in Saitama Prefecture, Japan. She was a good-looking and active teenager who loved attention, which made some people jealous. She didn't smoke, drink alcohol, or do drugs, which seen as a very uncool in the eyes of gangster-like teens. One of them, named Hiroshi Miyano, had a crush on her, but she rejected him and turned him down. He was really mad and decided to get revenge on her. On November 25, 1988, she got kidnapped by 4 teenage boys while walking back home. One of them was Hiroshi Miyano. They took her to one of the kidnappers' parents' house in Adachi, Tokyo. They forced her to call her parents and tell them that she is going to stay with her friends. During the 44 days following her kidnapping, Junko Futura was forced to withstand unspeakable suffering. What she went through before murder included: she was humiliated by being kept naked most of the time. She was raped by more than 100 men every day in both vagina and anus. She's estimated to have gone through about 500 rapes. At one point, she was raped by 12 different men in one day. She got hit with golf club and her face got bashing against the cement floor. She was forced to masturbate in front of them and their guests. She had various objects forced into her vagina and anus, such as bottle, scissor, an iron bars, roasting needles, and more. She was forced to eat like cockroaches and drink her own urine. She had fireworks forced up her butt and set them off, causing several burns. She had her left nipple ripped off with pliers. She was hanging from a ceiling and used as a boxing bag. She was kept in a freezer for several hours. She had her eyelid burned with hot wax and lighters. She had breasts peeled with sewing needles. She had her vagina clitoris burned with cigarettes and lighters. She had a hot little bolt inserted into her vagina and explode inside. During beating, Junko Futura couldn't breathe through her nose due to the accumulation of her blood. Her traumatized internal organs refused to accept food and water, so whenever she tried to drink, she instantly vomited, which made her dehydrated. At one point, when the attacker were resting, she tried calling the police but got caught and got punished by having her feet set on fire. She was unable to walk after 20 days and couldn't handle anything because her bone was smashed with weight. Since it was winter, she was forced to sleep on a balcony exposed to cold temperatures. After 30 days, she couldn't urinate properly. Her hands and feet were damaged and it took her over an hour to crawl downstairs to the bathroom. Her eardrum were also damaged and her brain size was reduced. On January 4, 1989, she died. She was 17. The murderers stuffed the dead girl's body in a 55-gallon drum filled with concrete. Her body was found on March 29, 1989 in Koto City, Tokyo, Japan. All the 4 kidnappers were caught. Hiroshi Miyano and Joe Ugura were 18. Shinji Minato was 16 and Yasushi Watanabe was 17 at the time of crime. Because they were all underage when the crime was committed, they were tried as juveniles. 3 of the boys served less than 8 years. The leader has been sentenced 20 years in prison. By now, each of them is already out of jail. They also changed their name. To sum up, Junko Futura was kidnapped by 4 teenage boys for 44 days, from November 25, 1988 to January 5, 1989. Personally, this is the most disturbing and frightening murder case I ever came across to, and I feel really bad for her. Just imagine how much she has suffered during the 44 days. And moreover, I have a little advice for everyone out there who there's someone that came and approach you or make you feel uncomfortable. Make sure to tell someone you trust, like your friends, your families, or your teachers. And do not walk alone at night. At least you should have something to defend yourself. And yes, this is the end for the news report for today, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.